Hey, today I'm going to talk about the Mummy, the Electric Horseman, and Queen of Katwe. Spoilers, I rank them all really close together, so apparently I think they're all pretty similar in quality. Well, this dub is The Mummy. This is a 1999 Brendan Fraser action-adventure comedy film. Going into it, I had assumed that I had seen this movie just because I'm very, very aware of like everything in this movie. But my brother Justin put it on the other day because we needed to kill some time. He had it on a 4K and it looked incredible. But turns out, no, I've never actually seen it before. And it was pretty dang good. The basic premise is that Brendan Fraser plays Indiana Jones, and he has a librarian love interest partner thing that tags along, and it's just a fun, goofy action-adventure thing. The action was fun, the story was pretty good. The effects hold up really damn well. Like, I was actually really impressed with all the stuff with the bad guy, Emotep. They looked legit. There was only like a little bit of CGI that looked bad, and there was when like scarabs went underneath the skin that was just clearly CGI. Otherwise though, it holds up to today's standards. I don't really have like a specific complaint about it. It's more so that like the movie was funny, but I was never really laughing. Like I'd be like, oh, that was funny. That was funny. Huh, interesting. But like I would never like laugh. It did a couple times, but like I was hoping for more, and like the movie definitely wants to be funny, but it just didn't connect with me in that way. Oh well. Don't get me wrong though, I still thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was solid. If you've never seen this, it's a good fun time. If you haven't seen it in a while, it holds up. Give it a watch. Yeah. Next up is The Electric Horseman. This is a 1979 Sidney Pollack film, my second one of him, that's the director. And it stars Robert Redford, my sixth one of him, and Jane Fonda, my fifth one of her. The basic premise is that Robert Redford is this old retired cowboy. He was like a rodeo guy for several years. And now instead of, doing rodeo stuff, he sells cereal and is an alcoholic. But then Jane Fonda comes along as a reporter person, and that, along with this other thing, it inadvertently convinces him to steal a horse. And the whole movie's, it's kind of just an adventure movie about this guy and his horse. I definitely like the base idea of everything. I do think it was acted really well, especially Robert Redford. Jane Fonda didn't really have a lot to work with. I don't think the writer or director really knew how to write women well. She's fine. It's really not Jane Fonda's fault that there wasn't a ton to work with, especially because like there's a really unneeded love story just like tacked on. You could easily cut that out and the movie would be better for it. I also really liked the messaging of the movie, so much so that as soon as I went over to my parents' house, I immediately told my dad about it. He has seen the movie, but it's been 42 years since it came out, so it's been a while since he has, so hopefully he revisits it because he's gonna really enjoy it, I can tell. I do think this is like prime pickings for like a modern remake because like there's a lot of good stuff in there with just like a new take on it. Could make an incredible movie. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I would only recommend it if like you're really into Robert Redford or Jane Fonda or horses, or you just like adventure movies. It's a good fun adventure movie without guns. And lastly is Queen of Katwe. This is a 2016 Disney movie. I was so surprised this is a Disney movie that I hadn't heard of. This is based on a true story about this little girl from Uganda who fell in love with chess and did really well at it. It's very similar to The Queen's Gambit, except instead of being in an orphanage and addicted to pain meds, she lives in a slum and is just a nice person. The main little girl in the movie actually does a pretty dang good job. I was very impressed with her. It's hard to watch a chess movie in a post-Queen's Gambit world because they did such an incredible job just making chess exciting that I had never seen in anything else. And a lot of shows and movies do try to make chess exciting, and none of them achieved that level that Queen's Gambit did. This movie was never going to come close to that, and that's, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It was fun, it was fine. It's definitely a Disney movie with a good message. If that's what you're looking for, worth a watch. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got The Mummy, sitting number 70 in the quite liked. And then literally right behind it is The Electric Horseman, sitting number 71, also in the quite liked. And then not too far behind that is Queen of Katwe, sitting number 77 in the liked category, just fell past the line. And this is out of a total of 150 movies so far this year.